2000,
around 2000.
And, I even went with the former head of the LA FBI to Congress, spoke to the Judiciary Committee, the Armed Forces Committee, 23 senators, and most importantly, the Intelligence Committee, and they're supposed to be the oversight. It was obvious to me that this was MK Ultra on steroids, same tactics being used, the mind control, the breakdown of the human will, and using those programmed assassins or Manchurian candidates or whatever their desire may be, just eliminate the target. And further, I followed White Rabbit down the hole, more disturbing it got.
This is absolutely incredible. First of all, thank you for doing that, for going to Congress and going and speaking to these Senate committees and to the Senate Intelligence Committee, etc. It sounds like this was a replay of the Church Committee of the 1970s then, because you were coming forward as a DoD CIA whistleblower and Navy and NATO, etc. whistleblower. Speaking about this matter, what was the reception like?
And this is when I lost faith in my government. Was that event. The Senate Intelligence Committee said, we've never heard of MK Ultra. And that's their one job, was to
Everybody's heard of MK Ultra.
And so both the FBI, the head of the FBI and I look at each other like, oh, this is not going to go well. They're starting off with a lie. They've never heard of it.
Alright, I'll let you know exactly what it is to be the most known unknown. Alright? They know me, but you don't. Or some of you do. When it comes down to the whole understanding of when I started hearing voices, that was back in 2015, 16. Fuck cares? It was just a whole reality of what was going on throughout Donald Trump's presidency. And it all started around there. The Secret Service actually came to my house. Now I'll start mentioning some agencies real quick. For the longest time, I've been talking shit about the FBI, the CIA, and the NSA. Longest time. It's been maybe like 6-7 years in the same sense. The pedophiles at the CIA, the can you please cover up my crime FBI, and the pussies at the NSA. Known facts. Now when it comes down to the whole reality, I've seen maybe 1 or 2 U.S. Marshals here before, because I used to know a dumb fucker used to like mail that shit through the mail. I just say in that sense. Now when it comes down to the whole sense of ATF, I want you to understand, yes, I was trying to contact the Hells Angels for the simple facts of starting civil war, right? Because of all the corruption that's happening in this country. Now when it comes down to the DEA, thank you my buddy Cook, right? Him and his amazing adventures, whatever the fuck it was about. So I want you guys to understand, the biggest thing about the FBI is their stupidity. When it comes down to the whole reality of InfraGard, they are pretty much funded by the FBI with a simple sense. I want you guys to understand exactly what's going on. They are the ones who pay your gang stalkers. InfraGard does, for the simple sense of everything else. So they are fucking embezzling taxpayers' money in the biggest sense. Why do you have to buy these people new cars? Why new cars? Buy them an old clunker. Let them use a sense of a junker or a federal vehicle, right? But it's just a simple sense of what they do. They pay for their apartments. They pay for their papers. They pay for their money. For their food. They pay for every sense like that. It's one of the biggest, most treasonous things ever when it comes down to InfraGard. I made a contract to make sure InfraGard falls for everything that's going on, with a simple sense of asking, what have they done for this country? InfraGard is being used in the biggest sense to create crimes, to receive more funding for a higher crime rate. Now, when it comes down to the whole reality of everything else, it's stupid as fuck. I see this in my mind's eye. The FBI will be charged for every one of these fucking mass shootings when it comes down to the whole sense of schizophrenic, bipolar, and multiple personality. And it's just this simple. Why do you think they're so scared of this technology coming out? And there's going to be no avoiding it. There's going to be no sense, nothing like that. Everything will come out. Everything will come out. I promise you it will come out in the biggest sense. When it comes down to covering up the mass shooting on the person who created the water power engine. Remember that? How the fuck would drive 2.5 hours just to shoot at supposedly colored people, right? You want to make it into the biggest sense of what it was. And it's just like this. It's this simple. when it comes down to the whole reality of what's going on now, my phones are being completely stopped. Every one of my accounts are, and I am an American. And it's just like that, dude. What do you think I'm worth? $300 billion when it comes down to the whole sense of the federal government. I want you to understand everything from blackmail. I know for a fact I'll find exactly what the fuck you were throwing out, and when it comes down to everything that's going on, it has already been linked to one of your people. For the simple sense that somebody in the FBI will be charged as a pedophile. Now, this is going to be one of those videos where everybody sees what I'm saying. When it comes down to the reality, and this is just simple, you can say whatever the fuck you want, alright? To what they were doing here at the house. You guys all know me. Every one of you motherfuckers know me, right? Right? Can we agree with this? Now, when it comes down to the whole understanding, it's like these people were trying to take my life. They really were. They really were. Everybody knows, even to this, even the shadow government is smart. I want you guys to understand, just think about this logically. You guys are guilty for allowing and trying to take the life of a devotee of the holy death. This is exactly why there's going to be so much havoc in this country. Everything from imprisonment, everything from illness, everything from... this is the biggest sense too. I want you to understand. What do you think they were trying to do to my kids? My ex-wife, my friends? Do you understand La Santísima Muerte returns every single thing you do? But that's just the one thing. That's just the icing on the cake. That right there is the sweetest thing about everything that's going on. What happens to you will be your business, no one else. Because you have created all this havoc in our country. When it comes down to the mass shootings, you will be caught for what you've done. When it comes down to everything else, even this, you know how fucking much of a spectacle it was, the whole reality of that fucking bullshit. It just seems staged. What happened in New Orleans? Was it 15 people? 30 people got hurt? You know how staged that is? Why would somebody do that to the sense? What the fuck do you do with our taxes? You can't figure this out. But you can fucking pretty much investigate people or normal Americans' phones in the biggest sense. Anyone who is fucking against your fucking agenda, which is what? A non-existent one. Everybody knows I'll talk shit to Barack Obama. The guy in the shower. Everybody knows I've said give POTUS, give Joe Biden the vaccine, right? So what are you gonna say whenever all this bullshit comes out? What are you gonna say? And this is the biggest thing. Santísima Muerte says she wish she motherfucking would. You know how stupid it is? The people keep saying this is like, it's easier to use a bullet. Well, use it then. Don't act like you don't know where I live. I want you to understand every single one of your crimes will be put out there. Down to a simple sense of everything else. It's like, what was the depopulation attempt? What happened throughout the month of July in 2023? Right? Where that, along with the COVID-19 vaccine, what do you think that's going to do? I mean, that was the whole sense of what? This is one of the biggest, most fucking pathetic shit I ever heard in my fucking life. When it comes down to the reality, the FBI is legally responsible for every one of these mass shootings, every one of these crimes, because in one way or another, they investigated exactly what the fuck was going on and said nothing. And after they're saying all this, just remember, I don't feel sorry for you. After what you guys did to my kids, I don't feel sorry for none of your families. What are you going to say? You want me to be honest? 732 North Lincoln, Liberal, Kansas.